Episode of Wrestling Fluency. I am your host, the king of Pennsylvania strong style himself, $1 Million Matt. And with me again is my co-host,
Brandie, the Alabama Slammer.
All right, back again. How you feeling, Brandie?
Feeling pretty good. Ready to talk about some wrestling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this episode is special to us. This is going to be a Halloween episode since Halloween is right around the corner. Yeah. I hope y'all are being safe. Whoever got little kiddos, make sure the candy that they're eating is safe. Make sure they got nothing crazy in them. But on my segue. So, being that it is Halloween themed, we're going to talk about wrestlers that scared the ish out of us. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. So, are we going to talk about some costumes first, you think?
Or? Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's get into some costumes. So, Brandie, what was a favorite Halloween costume that you had growing up?
One of my favorite Halloween costumes I ever did, and this isn't wrestling related. When I was a teenager, like a young teenager, like 11 to 13, I was really into this girl group called Bewitched. They were this Irish pop group. And Lindsay was my favorite in that group. And they wore all this denim and stuff, and like I used to watch this Disney Channel special with them all the time where they had this, like how Britney Spears had the little microphone that was the headpiece and the little mouthpiece.
Yeah, kind of like Jillian Hall.
Yeah. So I bought like a denim vest, and like I made like my pants look like they're flared denim jeans, and I think I don't remember if at this point I had embroidered anything on the back of it or not, but I dressed up like that. I had my hair all curled like the girl from it, and I actually took an old Walkman and like created my own little like headpiece microphone. Nice. And I went around and I would play. I had it like rigged up to where I could play the song and you would hear it. So I'd be like lip syncing the little song.
Nice. That's awesome.
So that was my favorite Halloween costume.
Yeah.
I think. I've been some pretty cool stuff. I've been Katy Perry before, and
nice.
But I think that one was the biggest stretch of creativity for me.
Oh, that's awesome. I think I heard of Bewitched actually. Low key, I think I heard of Bewitched. I'm not sure if they're on one of the low key music channels I used to follow, but I think I have heard of them.
Maybe if you watched the Disney Channel when you were younger, they were all over that all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I dabbled in the Disney Channel a little bit. Had some pretty cool stuff. But what was my favorite costume? Funny thing, when I was in first grade, actually, this is going to go a bit into a story, but my dad, coolest dad ever, at 5 years old, took me to see the Batman movie, and I was a big fan of the Jack Nicholson Joker. He is the best Joker to me. No disrespect to Heath Ledger, but he is my favorite Joker. But anyway, on to the costume. My mom took me shopping to go get Halloween costumes and seen a Batman costume, and in an aisle or two over, I seen a Joker costume, and I was like, I want to be the Joker. And she was like, are you sure you don't want to be Batman? I was like, I want to be the Joker. And I happened to be the Joker in first grade. I had the plastic Joker mask. I had a purple plastic suit. It was one of the coolest costumes. Maybe not the most creative because it was like one of the cheap plastic costumes, but I thought it was the coolest thing, and I thought I was the bee's knees at the time. And another cool costume, I think this was second grade. I was Raphael from the Ninja Turtles.
Aww.
Now, my favorite Ninja Turtle was Michelangelo, but he was pretty popular at the time, so I was like, that's cool. I like Raph. I dig Raph. So I was Raphael. I was also Robin when Batman Forever came out. Again, my mom was like, "You sure you don't want to be Batman?" I was like, "No, I want to be Robin."
When I was little, we were very poor, so we never got to have store-bought.
Us too.
Yeah, we never got to have store-bought costumes. We always had to like make something. And I remember when I was little, all I wanted in life was to have a pink Power Ranger costume. That is all I wanted. And so as I was thinking about that the other day, I was like, I'm a freaking adult now. I can do what I want. I should just get my own pink Power Ranger freaking outfit.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah,
I was gonna say you could recreate it.
I know I was like a witch several years, and then I was a black cat so many times.
Yeah. I think in the teenage years I was dressing up as like some kind of rapper that I emulated. I think I was Tupac at one time. Then I was supposedly quote unquote Ja Rule, but nobody would have noticed.
Oh. See, when I got into dance and I started spending all that damn money on dance costumes, those became my also Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
It's real hard to like spend $300 something on a dance costume and then just be like, yeah, I wear it one time a year. Hell no, I'm wearing this every chance I get.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to the store in this. I'm at the doctor's in this. Went to court in this.
There you go. Hey, maybe you might win your case with that one. I would if I was a judge.
I know, like, I got really into doing things with face paint. Like, I did a lot of Dias de la Muerte stuff. And then, yeah, I got really into doing that. And I would do that at random times during the year and just go places with it. And it's a Rob Zombie movie. Dang it. It's the Rob Zombie movie where his wife is in it and she's like a witch.
Oh,
her name's Heidi in the movie. What is the name?
Oh God, I forget.
Is it Lords of Salem?
I think I might have to Google that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we might have to Google that off camera.
But I was her one year. I painted my face up like that. And I did the Joker. I did Heath Ledger's Joker one year.
Nice.
And I painted my face up like him.
I was gonna say, do you have pictures?
I do. Actually,
Nice.
When I was doing dance, we would have what's called a hafla, which is like a dance party. Right. And so we would have that and invite the community to come and watch our show, and we would just put on a free show. And each month a different dancer hosted it. And so when I hosted it, I did a cosplay theme, and I was the Joker, and my best friend at the time was Harley Quinn. And so we spent like the whole thing, like we had this whole spiel where we would like have little segments as Harley Quinn and Joker running throughout the show. People really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed doing it. It was a great time.
Oh, that's sick. That sounds dope.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I would definitely love to see pictures of that.
Oh man, it was great. I loved that choreography. We did a dance as Harley Quinn and Joker to Poker Face by Lady Gaga, and we had like Joker cards with the ha 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 and all that on it, and we would at the end we like threw it out at the audience and stuff, and everybody got rained on a Joker cards. It was a good time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good times, great memories. Yeah. But anyway, I was gonna say we could go on and on about costumes because I know there's a couple cool costumes I can name off. I wasn't sure if you mind that, but if not, we can dive into our topic.
Well, I think everybody would click to listen to us talk about the wrestlers, so maybe we should get to the wrestlers.
Yeah, I think so as well too.
If you want to know more about our costumes, please leave a comment in the comment section below.
Yep, exactly. Yep, and we can go on and tell more Halloween stories.
Oh, for sure. So, Matt, what are we talking about this week?
We are talking about wrestlers that scare us or have scared us back when we were little tykes, back when I was little Penny Matt, and back when she was little Slammer Brandie.
Little hammer. Just a little hammer.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I will start off with one that comes to mind, and he's definitely the top one that absolutely scared the crap out of me. Actually made me run up into my bedroom and hide under my bed.
Oh
Papa Shango.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, this dude, ooh, doing the voodoo stuff and all that. Man, that scared the crap out of me. And after what he did to the Ultimate Warrior, who was one of my favorites at the time, I was terrified of Papa Shango.
What did he do to the Ultimate Warrior?
Basically put a voodoo curse on him where he made his ribs hurt and made him projectile vomit.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I knew that.
Yeah, and then there was one where he burned a picture of him, and Ultimate Warrior was doing an interview with Gene Okerlund at the time. I believe it was WWF Superstars at the time. Excuse me, for confusing my timelines. But he had an interview with Gene Okerlund, and he was going on his Ultimate Warrior spiel. And next thing you know, this black stuff comes dripping down his head and all down his face paint. And then he starts shaking and looking at his hand, screaming, "Warriors!" And I was terrified of Papa Shango because I seen a picture of the Ultimate Warrior burning. I was like, "Oh my God, please tell me Ultimate Warrior's okay."
See, and people act like the whole situation with the Fiend and Alexa Bliss and them doing all that kind of like supernatural stuff, they act like that's something new. And I'm like, they've been doing that in wrestling a hot minute. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Like, Jesus Christmas, there's been wrestlers that have been doing terrifying stuff like that for years. I was gonna say another one of mine, but later on I became a fan of hers, and there was a Dark Side of the Ring episode that was recently done on her, Luna Vachon.
Oh.
Just that whole voice scared the absolute crap out of me. Just her terrifying voice and her whole like demeanor. It literally sounded like a death metal album where she's just like screaming into the mic the whole time. And I was just like, oh my God, what is wrong with this woman?
Yeah. You know, I was listening to the Jim Cornette podcast this past week, and he was talking about that because he knew Luna pretty well. And he was like, you know, when you saw her like out of the whole get up and stuff, she was actually a really attractive woman. She just wasn't like at the time, you know, they were like looking for the Sunnies and the Sables and stuff. He's like, she was an attractive woman. And I was like, really? Let me go back and look. Because when I think of Luna, I think of her being scary because I was a kid when I see her. And so when I went back, like when you look at where she comes out with Shawn Michaels, I was like, oh, damn, okay.
Yeah.
Hot, okay.
Yeah. And I thought so myself, too. I was like, wow.
Yeah. She was so ahead of her time. If she was starting in the wrestling business now, I think that she would be pushed to the top of the card and just live up there for a really long time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not to be off subject with not to jump into AEW, but look at Abaddon. Mm-hmm. You can tell like some of what she's doing was kind of like Luna Vachon, Boogeyman, whoever was a scary wrestler involved was inspired by that. But it could definitely been her own thing. But yeah, for the most part, Luna was definitely the seed, I think, in my opinion, that was planted for all that. So yeah, she's definitely up there when I think scary wrestlers. Another one that comes to mind, I wouldn't call him scary, but if you pretty much like shrunk me down like back in time in the DeLorean and had me as a little kid, I'd probably be terrified of the Boogeyman.
Boogeyman is on my list as well. He is one of the few wrestlers that I have a hard time just watching. because
Yeah.
he's so disturbing to me.
Oh my God, yeah.
The worms just was. I could not.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, definitely. And that whole gyration dance, which I kind of find absolutely hilarious because I've actually done that after a few cocktails. I was actually walking down the street doing the boogeyman dance.
I am the boogeyman. I'm going to get
I'm
you.
gonna get you.
Yeah. You know, they did the cinematography with him sometime was so good. Where like I can't remember what feud it was, but there was one that like the person he was feuding with was in frame, and then suddenly like he drops down into frame like over their head.
Yeah.
With the worms and stuff. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they know that he's there, but as the viewer, this is so creepy.
Yeah, exactly.
He was so creepy. Yeah, he's on my list as well. The
Oh
boogeyman.
yeah. Yep, absolutely. And I'll let you take it from there for more on the boogeyman.
Well, I mean, I've said what I was gonna say on the boogeyman. Like the worms thing was just like so much. I just couldn't. And like when he would spit them on people, it just made he grossed me out a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he was just really committed to that character, and
Mm-hmm.
he played it really well. And so you were able to suspend reality with him a bit with his creepiness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I have one I can throw out that maybe you haven't thought of, or others may be thinking right now as
Oh
a
yeah.
creepy one.
All right.
And that is Abdullah the Butcher.
Ooh.
This
Yes.
like slits in his head creeped me the hell out. I was like, that is a mean man. That is a real mean man.
Yeah.
He's got slits in his head.
Yeah, that's somebody I definitely would not want to be in a bar fight with. The slits in his head say it all. I was gonna say I put him and New Jack up there.
Ooh, yeah, New Jack, definitely. And like they're scary, not so much from a like spooky perspective as far as like a Halloween kind of spooky. But
Mm-hmm.
their presence and like how I guess like brutal they were, that's
Uh-huh.
really scary. Especially with Abdullah the Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, that's a bad guy. That is a
Yeah,
mean man.
yeah.
And I don't know anything about him in real life. I just know about the character and seeing things from the character. So who knows? He might be a very nice man. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was very
Possibly.
scary looking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was at a wrestling event and I walked by him, but I didn't really get a chance to interact with him. I think he was talking to somebody at the time, so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna let him go.
Yeah. I think I'd be intimidated to talk to him. I'd be like, let me just scoot right on past you here.
Yep, exactly. I don't blame you there.
So another one on my list, since you did two, I guess I'll do two, is Sid Vicious.
Oh, yeah.
I was really scared of Sid Vicious when I was a kid. He just seemed like the bad guy. I mean, he kind of was the bad guy. But he looked at times really deranged. And there was almost an uncomfortable feeling when you watched him because he just seemed really off hinge. And I was like very scared of him as a kid.
Oh, yeah. Especially when he later on became Psycho Sid.
Yeah. See, now I remember more the Psycho Sid kind of days. Like that's the most present in my mind when I think of him. And I just really was scared of him. So when he would be wrestling someone, I'd be like, oh,
yeah,
he gonna get him. He bad.
yeah. You just had to look in his eyes when he walked to the ring like, I would not mess with this dude.
He was so intimidating. He had such a presence. And it worked. It scared the children, at least.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it scared the children. Definitely did. But, yeah, that guy's definitely terrifying. Music and everything and all. But I was gonna say another drunken story. I remember when I was doing like his babyface entrance and fist bumping everybody and screaming at everybody, "Who's the man? Who's the man?"
Oh man, I don't remember that era at all.
Yeah. I forget who he was fighting against, but he was a babyface, and I just seen him like fist bumping everybody and then screaming, "Who's the man?" I'm not sure if it was a WrestleMania or not. I'm gonna have to look that up. But yeah, I was gonna say, any others that you can think of?
Man, I had a list and now I didn't know what to do with the list. Let's see. Sid Vicious, Abdullah the Butcher. Oh, Kevin Sullivan.
Oh my God, yeah.
I grew up in a really Christian family, like a hellfire and brimstone Christian family. And so anyone talking about like satanic stuff and that and like spirits and stuff, I was really scared of them. So I was very scared of Kevin Sullivan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I know the Dungeon of Doom movies, I was a bit terrified of him. But
And then when you like even now when you hear stories about Kevin Sullivan and some of the rumors about him, you're kind of like, am I off base for being afraid of him? Because it didn't seem like it.
yeah. Yeah, it was just absolutely terrifying. Like I said, I seen like some of his earlier clips when he was doing his satanic stuff, when he had Luna in his corner and he had also Woman in his corner when she had her gimmick. But yeah, Kevin Sullivan definitely embodied someone who you would probably be scared of if you were a 7 or 8-year-old wrestling fan.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh, Brand, I just thought of this one that I forgot to mention, and shame on me because I grew up in this era. Doink the Clown when he was the heel.
Oh, yes, he's on my list too. Oh, he
how did we forget? Dang it.
Oh, I didn't. He's just, I'm blocking him out willingly.
I don't blame you.
I
did too.
It when I was a very small child on accident. I saw the movie It when I was like 5. And so I've been not a fan of clowns. And then Doink the Clown. And as you get older, he's still unsettling because you're like thinking about John William Gacy, you know, and stuff like that, which I think is what Pennywise was based off of. So like Doink, I'm like, no.
Yep.
I don't like clowns. And there's actually, I have read, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I have read that the reason that, besides just popular culture making it this way, but the reason that humans are scared of clowns is because when we see something that looks somewhat humanoid, but it's not a human, our brains have a hard time processing it when we first see it, and so it scares us at first. And I'm like, oh. I was like, how were clowns ever considered funny if that's true? You know, like if we're by nature going to be scared of them when we initially see them, how did they ever become like supposed to be funny, happy things at children's birthday parties?
Yeah, exactly. That pretty much like blow up balloon animals and throw pies in their faces.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, Doink pretty much terrified me, especially his theme song. That dun, 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 that kind of sounded like something off the movie It.
Ooh, I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of It myself either. Well, the early It. The new one wasn't too bad. I thought so anyway. But back to Doink. Yeah, he was pretty terrifying.
He was. I totally concur with you on that. He was one of those that, like, I was looking through different wrestlers, and when I saw him, I was like, yes, that guy is horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And Although I will say, I found this wrestler more cool and terrifying. I have to talk about him. Gangrel.
Gangrel.
Yeah, Gangrel was so awesome, but more than likely, like I said, if you had me as a little kid, I'd probably be terrified of Gangrel.
See, when I started getting into my teenage years, I started liking that goth stuff and things like
Same
that.
here.
And so characters like Gangrel, Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, even the Misfits and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's what they were called, right? Luna and all of them. They were called the Misfits. No, they're called the Oddities.
Oddities. Oh, they had the coolest theme song, too.
I'm an oddity. You looking odd at me. I remember. I loved their theme song. And then it comes to the greatest show. Yeah. That was on one of the WWF, like, music things. And me and my cousin would, like, play it and sing the little song. But, yeah. So I loved those characters. I liked the more rebel characters, the more punk, the more scary characters. I wasn't really a big fan of, like, the goodies.
Yeah, same here. And that's when you could tell, as a fan, you were kind of transitioning, and that was myself too. Like, I don't know if y'all remember from the last episode where I told you my dad took me to a local high school wrestling show where there was basically indie wrestlers and there was a few noted name superstars. But as soon as I seen blood, 8-year-old me freaked out. But when ECW came out, when I was 12 or 13 years old, I would cheer on, especially when New Jack would staple somebody's head with a staple gun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, speaking of blood, isn't it Gangrel that did, like, the blood baths?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I remember Terry Runnels getting the blood bath and being like, ah, gross.
Yep, and I thought it was the coolest thing. I was like, yes, blood bath.
That was freaking cool. That was really, even today, that would be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yep. I loved that. And the entrance was so cool how they'd come out. Yeah. And the music, the music, like, if you were a fan of, a historian, I guess, of entrance theme songs of WWE / WWF, if Gangrel's theme and the Brood's theme is not on the top of your list, then what are you doing? Do you even listen to music?
Yep, exactly. And I was just getting ready to say it's top 10 on my list and always makes my workout playlist.
I love it. You know what? The other day, this is just a sidebar. I was like making a joke. I had put on Facebook, "Ancestors, hear my plea, help me to land a sugar daddy." Like, to the Mulan song. My friend Nathaniel,
I think I seen that. I was cracking up laughing.
Was drunk, and it apparently struck him very funny, and so he just started, like, typing on my status. But I was like, by the way, just so you know, for me personally, because he was doing the Be a Man from Mulan song. He was, like, typing those lyrics out, even though, like, I'm like, sir, this is the wrong song, but whatever. But the Be a Man song from Mulan, as a woman, for some reason, it, like, gets me geared up. If you're, like, working out, you're like, be a man, you must be swift as the coursing river. You know?
Nice.
You're just like, yeah. I don't know why. I don't know, but it's one of the, I like to listen to that if I'm gonna work out.
Yep. I was gonna say.
Fires me up.
I was gonna say weird thing, and it's funny you mentioned that, but the Portal song from Avengers Endgame somehow gets me.
Yeah. I on my workout list, I have put a lot of WWE music on there.
Yep, here too.
This is such a sidebar. People are probably like, what are we listening to? But like Sasha Banks music, the original, not the Snoop Dogg remix. Nothing wrong with the Snoop Dogg remix, but I prefer her first one. That one I would put on it. Paige's themed Tear the Stars Out from the Sky. Yes. That one was great. Loved Lita's music. I forget what band did hers, but
oh my god, I know the song is called Love Passion. Yeah, Boy Hits Car. Yeah,
they did that. Does and even at times Trish's music, I liked Trish Stratus's music.
Yeah.
When Lil Kim did it.
Yeah. Oh, time to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in control.
Sometimes the women get trash music though. Like poor Alicia Fox, her entire career she just had trash music.
Yeah. She got like this weird, like trancey club music.
Yeah, where I was just like, what did y'all do to the drum machine in this? This sounds very weird.
Yeah.
And then there's some people freaking love Becky Lynch's music. I hate that. I hate Becky's music.
Yeah, especially for a heel, if you're gonna make her heel.
Okay. I was just thinking, we should do a music-based one. We're getting off track here.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that's for another episode, people. We're lucky you're lucky we're giving this to you for free.
We gave you a taste of what's to come.
Yeah, we gave you a free.
We started this talking about Gangrel and how badass he was.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, Gangrel's music is definitely my favorite, and just him as a superstar will probably creep a lot of people out, but me as a teenager, I'd be like, yo, this is awesome.
For sure.
Do. Okay.
It was so addictive.
Yep, definitely. So let's answer this one question, Brandie. I'm sure you and I might have an answer to this. What do you think makes a spooky or creepy wrestler?
Okay. So what makes a spooky or creepy wrestler to me are wrestlers or characters who don't have conscious. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but like they are just particularly brutal and don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's kind of like because it's like the same vibe you get from serial killers, sociopaths, where they just don't quite have it in like that ability to feel sympathy or empathy for someone.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very creepy, and I think that I don't know, Psycho Sid kind of had that thing going on too. Yep. But I would really like, for me now as an adult, those are the ones I would find like more spooky and creepy, and more if they were more cerebral.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't necessarily have to do scary things like, oh, we're gonna make this person bleed from their eyeballs or whatever. Like you wouldn't have to go through. Yeah. Although I did personally love The Fiend.
Yep.
And found him scary. And
I did too.
That's one thing that I always loved about Bray Wyatt's characters. Like even as the Bray Wyatt character, is he was kind of this cult leader, which was creepy. This like Charles Manson kind of cult leader, and that was just really creepy. And I really found that enjoyable. I like a more psychologically creepy character now as an adult versus just, oh man, he shot a fireball into the ring.
Yeah, kind of like what The Undertaker did.
Yeah.
Which is the traditional scary superstar, which we actually forgot to mention Undertaker.
We also forgot to mention Kane.
Yep, him too.
Kane, when he took off his mask and was bald and was doing weird things like impregnating Lita, he was pretty creepy back then.
Lita.
I mean, he was pretty creepy this whole time. But I think everyone would agree that Undertaker and Kane were creepy.
Yeah.
And Mankind.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention early Mankind actually.
Boiler room, squealing like a piggy.
Yep. While doing the mandible claw to Jim Ross during an interview where he just literally flips out.
Yeah. Mankind was more creepy in the psychological way, which I really found creepy and liked.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't even like with Kane and with Undertaker, even though they did kind of fantastical, superhuman things, I didn't mind that so much because there was still that an underlying psychological factor to them. I was talking to one of my friends. They were asking what we were going to record about today, and I was telling them, and they were like, "You have to mention Pallbearer. He scared the shit out of me when I was a kid."
Oh yeah. That's another one. Good call on that one, Brandie. Pallbearer definitely is on both our list, if y'all want clarification. Because more than likely, he scared the crap out of anybody who watched wrestling in the early days. When he does the, oh,
My Undertaker. I used to watch wrestling with my grandma a lot, and she would get mad at like if someone was her favorite was getting beat, and so for a long time, Undertaker was in a feud with I think Rick. I don't remember. Maybe he was fighting with Ric Flair. Undertaker was in a fight with somebody she liked, and so she called him the Undie Shaker. Yeah. My grandma was like, "Fuck around and find out. I don't care if you throw lightning balls."
That's funny. Your grandma sounds dope.
She was wily.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great. Yeah, the Undertaker, Pallbearer definitely had that spooky vibe to him. But on to what I think makes a spooky wrestler. It would definitely be someone who you don't really know about, kind of like a mystery. And I would take as a prime example, kind of like Undertaker, or Malachi Black, rather, excuse me. Someone who really has that dark mystery around them. Like, you don't really know what their intentions are, but you know they're pretty badass, but at the same time, they have that spooky vibe to them.
So let me ask, did you find Sting creepy when he first debuted? Like, when he was Crow Sting?
When he did the Crow, probably little me would have found him creepy, but being a 12 or 13-year-old, and I like the movie The Crow.
Oh, me really too. Do.
Yeah, that's a shame about Brandon Lee. If he wouldn't have passed away, his career would have took off. But that's another. For sure. Yeah, that's another conversation for another time. But I really loved Crow Sting. A lot of people are like, "I hate Crow Sting. I like Surfer Sting better." I'm like, dude, Crow Sting was so much better, in my personal opinion. When he started doing the Wolfpack stuff, that's when I was like, okay, Sting, you're doing too much now.
Crow Sting was my first wrestling shirt I ever owned.
Nice.
Oh man, I don't even know how I got it, but my mom got it for me.
Yeah.
And then I remember, I think my second one was Jeff Hardy. I loved Jeff Hardy growing up. I was like, oh yeah, he's my dream man.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, I was watching a couple of lists of people talking about spooky wrestlers, and some of them mentioned the Hardys, and I'm like, when have the Hardys ever been spooky?
Yeah. I mean, cargo pants and tight shirts, that's not really spooky.
They were too attractive to be spooky. What are you talking about?
Yep, and on top of that, they came out with a hot chick, Lita.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, how are they spooky?
I don't know. I found that puzzling. I would be interested to know if anybody was ever scared of the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
They weren't, I mean, maybe when they were in the Brood, but they were barely in the Brood.
Yeah, I mean, I would, to be honest with you, Brandie, a little off topic, I'd put Loose Cannon Brian Pillman as a spooky wrestler than the Hardys.
It's true that.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's another one, someone who's kind of like off the hinge, kind of like you don't know what they're doing, like something's off about them, you know. Yeah. And
showing up at whose house was it? He showed up. Was it Stone Cold's?
Oh no, Stone Cold actually showed up as his, and Pillman actually pulled out a 9mm.
That's right. I was like, so I just remembered there was an incident at someone's house with a gun, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely say that he was spooky.
Yeah.
Based off of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if you ever seen this in ECW where it was kind of like a little sketch where Brian Pillman actually wrestled a pencil in his living room. What? A giant pencil.
I did not watch a lot of ECW.
Okay. I was going to say I'm showing where I'm from, Philadelphia. But yeah, when Brian Pillman debuted, there was a sketch where he wrestled a pencil. And this was symbolism, I guess, to his WCW days where where the booking wanted him to start jobbing, and he stood the pencil up and he said, "Oh, you want me to do a job for you?" Oh, sorry. That's a terrible Brian Pillman impression. And then next thing you know, he starts wrestling this pencil. And then he looks at the camera and says, "Always wanted to wrestle a pencil." Or something to that effect. And then he starts choking the pencil and holding the Four Horsemen symbol. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Oh my gosh, I would have to watch that. I'll have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to pull it up if you want to get a laugh, but at the same time kind of be disturbed by it.
I always want to go back and watch wrestling, but I have a hard time even keeping up with modern wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm like, let me be sneaking in these shows and watching them real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, although for the most part, I if I pretty much happen to miss it, I just check out highlights and just kind of go there. I'm like, okay, I'm up to speed.
Because I don't have cable anymore.
Right.
It's like I have to find a way to watch it, and sometimes it's a little hard to find a way to watch it.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, kind of the same when I'm out and about too late and I happen to miss it, or if I go to bed early, I'll usually pull up the highlights on YouTube and I'm like, okay, I'm caught up.
Yeah, pretty much now with WWE, it's like, what did Roman do? That's all I really.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. The girls are killing it. I will say that, like the Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha and Bianca thing, that's been a really good part of the show as well.
Yep, exactly. Yep, definitely. And but yeah, I think we've covered what makes a spooky wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, any final thoughts, Brandie, before we?
I want more spooky wrestlers, but I want new spooky wrestlers. I don't want spooky wrestlers like how Alexa Bliss is a spooky wrestler. I want freaking weird, deranged spooky wrestlers. CM Punk, when he was the cult leader, kind of, to me, I would technically call that spooky too. Anytime you can mind control somebody, by your words and just being deceptive psychologically, I want more psychologically thrilling characters. Those are the spooky characters I want.
Yep, absolutely. And I was going to say, characters that are a little off. I actually seen earlier promos of Jon Moxley, way before he signed with WWE. This was in some indie promotion where he just did this promo and he's bleeding. You could tell he bled in his match, and he's doing an interview with this girl and he's creeping her out and just pretty much pointing a fork at the camera. Moxley was going completely off. I was just like, wow, this guy is nuts. I would not want to see this guy in a dark alley.
For sure. Spooky wrestlers are still needed. They just need a different kind of spooky wrestler.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I would like consistency. I don't like when they flop back and forth between this person has just been this horrible, grave, demented person, but, a year or two later, okay, now they're a babyface.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Brandie.
Alone.
I just thought of this.
Yeah.
Not a spooky wrestler, more on the cool side, Demon Finn Balor.
I
not
have
your
a
cup of
confession
tea
to make about Demon Finn Balor.
Okay, go ahead.
I loved Demon Prince Devitt. I cannot stand Demon Finn Balor. The hat with the weird hair. All that. It's hokey.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I wanted to like it. I really did. And when it was used sparingly, it wasn't so bad. But I just loved him on the indies, how he would be so vastly different. Like this, I'm sure any listeners remember the zombie thing where he like comes up in the coffin and stuff and like zombies down his knee. That was badass. That was
when he did that in New Japan.
Yes, that was amazing. But I have just been completely underwhelmed by Demon Finn Balor. Now there were some cool things in NXT, like his first run in NXT, where they were in London and he did the Jack the Ripper kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some cool, but when he got up to the main roster, the Demon just looked the same all the time, and it was out all the time. So it was like, eh.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it kind of ran its course, and then on top of that, the last match with Roman did not do the Demon Finn Balor any favors, which really kind of sucks, because I think you could have had this mythical story of the Demon, which is a reason why most of us in here are wrestling fans, because we want to see magic. We want to see things that are awesome and larger than life take us away from reality. We don't want to see something that seems like it can't be stopped. It just makes no sense to me.
Beating the Demon takes the shine off of it forever.
Right.
And that's like, I always go back to this when I talk about these things. The Undertaker talking about his rope dive. The Undertaker, he could do it, and he could probably do it all day in his heyday.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, I've used that in very limited situations, because once I have done it 4 or 5 Monday Night Raws in a row, it's not special anymore. It's the same thing with the Demon. The Demon needs to be one of those things that when it comes up, you're like, oh shit. Like you have pushed him to a point beyond composure and beyond sanity.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your war paint, but
yeah, I absolutely agree, and it almost seemed like a reason to sell merchandise to kids, which is pretty much WWE's play, but
that is such a frustrating thing with WWE. Anytime anyone comes in with something cool that resonates with the adult audience, they immediately water it down so they can sell stupid fucking hats to children. And I'm like, really? I'm sorry. That child did not work 40 hours and buy a ticket. That parent did.
Yeah, exactly.
It's annoying. It's like,
I agree.
You know, your show's demographic is like
18 to 30 something.
Yeah. It's like, what? Why do you not cater to your actual demographic? And then you put this bullshit on TV with these hokey ass characters, and these people make these amazing characters on the indies, and then they come to WWE and get neutered. Like,
that's exactly the words for it, Brandie. They get basically neutered and watered down, and get a new.
We've circled back around to our wrestling grievances.
Yeah, exactly. And I was going to say that should be for another episode, maybe Wrestling Grievances Part 2.
The neutered edition.
Yeah, the watered down and scripted version.
Man.
Yeah, but what I would definitely love to see also in Spooky Wrestlers is just a larger than life and magical being that cannot be stopped, if that makes sense. I want to see like something mythical, something freaky, something that would, I hate to sound like a broken record, but I don't care. You can go watch another channel, but something that would spook out 6 or 7 or 8-year-old me.
It would be nice if they're gonna go this fantastic element. It would be nice to. That's what I liked about the Fiend. Like the Fiend did not feel hokey; he felt special.
Right.
Whereas Alexa Bliss, having taken the mantle upon herself, everything she does feels hokey and tired and contrived, and I'm just like,
yeah.
My problem with Alexa Bliss, though, is a lot of people would consider her spooky. She just seems to me like Alexa Bliss, the person, is a very nice person.
Oh
And she's
yeah,
wonderful.
absolutely.
Her character, though, to me, is just edgy teen girl who bought all her shit at Hot Topic who thinks she's goth. That is what Alexa Bliss's character is. It's not to say that the person who plays Alexa Bliss, Lexi Kaufman, I think is her name, is a fantastic actress. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Everything they've ever given her, she has taken chicken shit and made chicken salad. She deserves all the praise. But sometimes the shit they write for her is bullshit.
It is. Yeah, it's garbage.
And, these, little kid Hot Topic outfits just ain't it, sis. It's not scary. I'm not scared. You look like you and your friends are... You see these girls in the mall walking around with their fucking Jack Skeleton beanies or whatever. I'm not scared of you.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like you're doing a Harley Quinn cosplay, more if anything.
I'm like, can we be a little less like Queen of the Nerds and a little more Queen of the Damned? Can we do that?
Fact, shout out to Selena Vega. I hope they make that her next gimmick.
She needs to, because Selena Vega could be creepy. She could be that creepy bitch. She could do it.
And you know what I thought of? And this was when Malachi Black was with WWE on the main roster. Kind of make her and him, since they're married in real life, make them kind of like this dark power couple. Like
everybody wanted that.
Yep, like make Aleister Black be himself, but also make Selena Vega kind of like a Queen of the Damned, Akasha type deal. Because I don't care what anybody says, I love the Queen of the Damned movie. Not because I was a fan of the R&B singer Aaliyah, and that was one of my crushes back in the day, but I really loved that movie. I fucked with it.
Oh yeah, everybody loved that movie. Or why? Yeah. Everyone I knew loved that movie, but I kind of knew people in that genre. We were a little kind of the gothy kids at school. But yeah. Alexa Bliss, Zelina Vega pulls off that goth queen. Alexa Bliss is a Hot Topic girl. Anytime I see her, that's all I think. I think about those girls who, like, we would be talking about music at school, and they would come up and be like, yeah, and they're like, I just got the new Avril Lavigne CD, and they'd have, like, a tie or something. That's the vibe that she gives me, and I don't mean to say that to be disparaging to her, because, like I said, I think she is a very lovely, wonderful person. I think she has an amazing story to tell when it comes to her life story. And I think she's fantastic at whatever she does. I just think that maybe she shouldn't be in charge of her clothing choices if they're trying to make her a legitimately scary character.
Yep, exactly. Make her more scary, damn it.
Or if she wants to go that little girl creepy vibe, she needs to lean farther into the Japanese style of that, so the gothic Lolita. But right now we get these vinyl, weird Lily the Doll, just shit that looks like child's play.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I can never consider Alexa Bliss a spooky character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely not. And that's what we don't want in a spooky character, or what does not make a spooky character, just as an extra segment.
Like, that's just one of those things that, like, she had it. And it just goes to show that, like, costuming on a person, on a character, makes a lot of the character. And I just never found her costuming. I've always found her costuming underwhelming at best.
Yeah, I would say so myself, and I would absolutely agree.
Well, what do you think, Matt? Have we said a lot?
I think we've pretty much covered all our bases for a Halloween episode. I don't think, as far as I know, that we've left anybody out. If we have, let us know in the comments who you could consider as a spooky wrestler, because we'd like to know.
I would love to know. And who knows, if we start getting enough questions, maybe like once a month we'll try to like have an episode where we round them up and answer some of them.
Yep, and do a simple Q&A, just so you can get to know us.
Getting to know you.
Woohoo! But anyway, that should take us out. I am the king of Pennsylvania strong style, $1 Million Matt, and my partner.
I am your Alabama slammer, Brandie.
And we out. Peace.